Hey everyone, today we'll be installing Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in an Infiniti QX70. We will be using a Nifty City kit for this upgrade. This will allow us to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this factory screen. We can control the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto using the factory buttons, steering wheel controls, and the factory touchscreen. I will show you how to install this module, where to hide the module, and how to operate it. I'll go ahead and show off the system to you. Let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the gear knob shifter. We're going to go ahead and drop the leather there, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the pin that's inside. Once you've removed that, you go ahead and work your way around down to the armrest, lift the armrest, and then go ahead and then pry it upwards towards you, just like that. And then you want to go ahead and remove this center piece here around the transmission, only the upper piece that will lift. So just on clips from the back here, and then work your way around the transmission. As you can see here, only the top layer is lifting, not the actual whole piece. And here you are. Once you've removed that, there is a clip underneath that you must remove. It's probably easier to remove it down from the transmission area. There we go. Go ahead and just pry it out towards you. One connector behind. Go ahead and remove the two screws underneath the center console. And go ahead and pry this out just like that. And then once you've gone ahead and removed the keypad, you want to go ahead and remove the two screws underneath the screen for the trim around the screen. And then you can go ahead and safely pry out the trim around the screen, just like that. And then you can go ahead and remove the trim around the screen. And then in order to gain access to the screen in the head unit, we need to go ahead and remove these two silver screws up here and the two silver screws down there. So let's go ahead and start off by removing the two up the top and the two at the bottom. Once you've removed all the screws for the head unit and screen, you go ahead and safely pry out the screen. So the way to remove it is remove it off its two screw points and then pry it downwards from the dash. So just like that. Go ahead and disconnect these both for now. Go ahead and then pry out the head unit, lean it forward. There's only two connectors that you need to tap into from behind the head unit. The two connectors will be on the left hand side, it's just those two. Just like that, and just like that. Those are the only two connectors that you need to remove. Go ahead and connect the Nifty City connectors to the back of the head unit. And then go ahead and connect the factory connectors with Nifty City's connectors. Okay, all connected. Now you'll notice that this needs to connect to the module. You'll notice a sound out auxiliary cable. This needs to either connect to your armrest inputs, or you can go ahead and connect it to the custom audio harness if you purchased one of those. The custom audio harness looks like this. This also can connect behind your head unit, and then you can go ahead and connect the two auxiliaries together. For this scenario, we'll go ahead and use this custom audio harness. Go ahead and find the connection behind the head unit, which is generally down here somewhere, just that one. And then go ahead and daisy chain that, and then connect the two auxiliary cords together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and connected the connectors behind the head unit, and I've thrown out the main harness to the center console. So we're planning on installing the module here and placing it here. I've gone ahead and connected the dongle and thrown out a wire from the USB inputs to the center console. We're going to go ahead and leave all the wires and prepare them here so we can connect the module last. Let's go ahead and tap the LVDS into the screen. So we'll go ahead and do that using the female connector and daisy chaining it with Nifty City. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is the female connector here, Nifty City. And then this will connect to the factory screen. Let's go ahead and feed the connector down the dash. Okay, so I've gone ahead and prepped the LVDS cable. So there we go, I've fed the LVDS down the dash. I've fed the LVDS cable down to the center console. And there we go, we have the main harness and the LVDS connector prepared and ready, and the USB inputs for the module. Go ahead and connect the main harness from the head unit over down to the module, and then connect the LVDS port from the screen Then go ahead and connect the USB ports for the dongle in the armrest. Okay, on the QX70, there's hardly any space. You can fit the module anywhere you like. So there is one spot here that I found was great. If you can just go ahead and pull out the side trim there, and then go ahead and put one corner of the module in first, and then put the module down by body. Squeeze the wires down to the side, because once we put that center console trim back, the cup holders are going to take up a lot of space here. So go ahead and fit the module down in the corner just like that, as you can see here. Since we've already daisy chained this area and fed the LVDS cable down to the center console, go ahead and connect the relevant connectors back to the screen. Go ahead and feed the top part of the screen first, just like that. Go ahead and push the head unit back. Once you've done that, go ahead and put the relevant screws back on. Put the air vents back in their position. Make sure you hear a click before you continue. Soft tap. Once you've put the screen trim back on, go ahead and put the 2 screws. Go ahead and then connect the keypad. Connect the small one to the small connector inside the harness, and then connect the other 3 applicable harnesses. Once you've connected all the connectors, go ahead and put the keypad back in its position. 2 screws. Alright, then go ahead and connect the pocket / 12 volt cigarette lighter trim. Then go ahead and click that into its original position, just like that. Go ahead and connect the relevant connector to the bottom of the transmission there. Go ahead and place the transmission trim back into its position. Make sure all 8 clips have clicked over. Okay, make sure you put the pin on correctly, and go ahead and slot it down until you hear a click. There we go. And then lift the leather piece just like that. Okay, so when we first start the car, obviously it boots into the factory system. I'll show you that, we can access the radio, for instance. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Nifty City system. We can go ahead and hold back on the dash there for 2 seconds, or we can hold the back button on the steering wheel for 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and use the dash for now. Boom, and then it switches over. If you don't hear audio from Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, go ahead and switch over to the auxiliary channel, and then we can go ahead and play music, for example, in Spotify, just like that. Let's go ahead and see if there's audio in Apple CarPlay. There is not, so let's go ahead and click auxiliary again. There we go, wonderful. That's how to switch over. You can go ahead and use the factory knob controls to move around, and the factory touchscreen as well. I find it much easier to use the knob control there, and then one touch to open up the apps. Waze, everything else on Apple CarPlay works. That's great. To go back into the module, just tap Nifty City, and then you have your module built-in apps, just like that. Okay. Temperature controls, so your temperature control from factory Nissan or Infiniti, you can go ahead and turn it on, and it'll come up on the screen itself, even through Apple CarPlay as an overlay. So as you can see here, I'm changing the temperature. This one has dual control climate, so you can see it's changing both. Fantastic. Guys, I hope my installation video was helpful today. You can grab your kit at niftycity.shop. They do have kits available for a wide range of vehicles for different makes, models and years. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below.